Everyone could take their seats, please. The chair will call to order the regular meeting of the Board of Education of CUSD 201, today, August 13th, 2013. And roll call, please, Mrs. McMahon.
Mr. Armstrong,
Here.
Ms. Caparelli, Mrs. Charlton,
Here.
Mrs. Hancock,
Here.
Mr. Johnson,
Here.
Mrs. Natbush,
Here.
Mr. Price.
If we could stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First item on the agenda, are there any public comments? Okay, consent agenda. Any questions or comments? Okay, then the chair will entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented. Number 1, personnel recommendations. Number 2, approval of amended SACID lease. And 3, approval of July 2013 expenditure report.
So moved.
Second.
And roll call, please, Mrs. McMahon.
Mr. Armstrong,
Yes.
Mrs. Charlton,
Yes.
Mrs. Hancock,
Yes.
Mr. Johnson,
Yes.
Mrs. Natbush.
Yes.
Okay. First item for discussion, Certificate of Excellence in Financial Reporting.
Yep, I just wanted to make the board aware that the district again received the Certificate of Excellence in Financial Reporting from ASBO International. And what the district does when we do our audit report, we do a comprehensive annual financial report, which is provides a lot more in-depth reporting than just your regular audit that the state requires. There's a lot of supplemental schedules. There's a management and discussion area in this report, and it requires an extensive amount of additional work, but we feel it's well worth it, and especially when we are issuing bonds and doing things like that. It's also a great resource for our community to learn what's going on in our district. And so we're pleased again to announce that we received the award for the reporting, and we have a nice plaque that will go on the wall in the business office.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
And I do like what you have in here, that the award does confirm the business office's commitment to financial accountability and transparency. So, thank you for that. Okay. Superintendent's report?
Included in my report, an update on our finance committee at our last meeting. The finance committee is, initially, we're going to be focused on 2 things. One is, again, that question about the high school pool. It's kind of approaching the end of its usable life, and so we either have to reinvest large sums of money or, if the district doesn't want to take on that challenge, then possibly partnering with another organization to assist us with that. But we're going to be going through that process. And the other thing that we'll be doing is the EBIRD process that we've talked about. And at our most recent meeting, we kind of reviewed that with the committee, what that process looks like. And again, it's a process in which we look at different programs within the district, and we try to identify what improvements, or in some cases, if programs are negatively impacted, depending upon how they're funded, by either increasing, decreasing, or maintaining the funding. And we generate a list of possible programs to research, and with the thinking that we wouldn't be able to delve into all those at the same time. So we're going through a process now where we'll prioritize and start to tick those off one at a time, so that we can bring forth to the board then, when we go through that budget process, recommendations about how to proceed in those.
The attachment on board docs, number 4 and number 6 are blank, but I'm wondering if maybe on a printed version that's not the case. It's like a tease, like
Of
I
this
know there
thing?
should be something, on mine, on board docs.
It has something.
4 and 6 are blank.
They're,
Like literally, it goes from number 3 and then 4 is blank and then number 5 and 6 is blank.
Oh.
So I just,
Well, that's weird.
Can
'cause
you
I
just
printed-
tell me what the
Yeah,
4 and
4
6?
is PE and 6 is CTE, Career Technical Education.
Okay, so the list that Marie has is different than what's loaded in board docs.
But that's funny, I printed this off of this.
Are you talking about?
What do you have for
Um,
5?
Different.
Because we show 5 as PE.
And 8 is
Possibilities?
CTE.
EPR possible programs? Yeah, it shows up blank on mine.
It's different.
The one I
That's
pulled
so-
up, though, you're right, Shannon, when I
It's-
pulled it up
yeah.
on mine, it comes up blank, but it's the same.
Looks like the same information,
know what?
though,
And
with
look at the
just 2
bottom.
blanks inserted.
Yeah, on the
so-
bottom, because it says, you know,
Mhm.
DI, but it says 26, and then yet this says 24.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Okay,
it's,
I just
yeah,
wanted to check and see. I didn't see blanks on the paper that you two had sitting in front of you, and I thought, oh, well.
they're mystery ones we're looking
I
at.
know,
That's so funny.
No, but those are
I just want to make
the,
sure I'm paying attention, I understand.
the areas that we're gonna be looking at.
Okay,
Can I ask you,
so there
Tom,
isn't anything missing, there were just
No.
2 blanks inserted, okay.
is this,
It's very strange.
this list that you've provided, us, this is not yet prioritized, these are
Correct.
just areas?
Correct.
Okay, okay.
This is just a list of areas, and now we're gonna go through the, process to prioritize.
Hey, just so it's even more strange, mine isn't blank.
On the PC,
Yeah.
it's not, but on the
On this
iPad,
one
it is.
So you don't get any of it, I'm only
No.
missing 2.
Wow.
All right.
Strange.
That's really,
No, mine isn't, mine has everything. Yeah, those aren't blank on that, so. Very strange. Very strange.
And then what you have is, it's listed as current staff plan, but I will tell you that Marie and Shannon have, pointed out a couple of things that are in error, and so we'll review that and make those adjustments, and then we'll send it to you in the board update so that you have the updated version of that. So I apologize for that.
Is it possible to remove this one from board docs? The only reason
Yeah.
I'm asking is because, sometimes we go back and search old content, and I won't remember that the one that was attached here
Sure.
wasn't correct.
Yeah, we can delete that.
Okay, that
Yep,
would be good. if we
definitely.
could.
And then I thought it would be appropriate to give the board an update on some of the programs that we offered this summer and what the response was. This year for our virtual summer school, which is offered at grades K through 8, we have 13 students participating. Our transition to 6th grade at the junior high, we have 24 students participating. The high school credit recovery, that was at the beginning of the summer, we had 30 students who took advantage of that opportunity. Transition to 9th grade, which is meeting at the same time, transition to 6th grade, as we have 9 students. And then the jump into math at the high school, that's 14 students. So I think overall, because it's been a couple of years since we've offered programs, I think that was a pretty good response, and we're hoping obviously to continue to grow those programs.
I have a question. The high school credit recovery, so that's 30 participants. And I guess maybe this is one of the things you're gonna look at. Did they get the outcomes that they were looking for from that? Did the students,
I believe, I'll confirm it, but I believe, I want to, somewhere around 2 students did not
okay,
earn the credit they were trying to recover, but I believe
okay.
overall it was very successful. Most of the
Okay.
students took advantage of the opportunity and were able to recover some credits.
oh, that's great, okay.
So, yeah.
And I just know that, it's nice to see this 24 students into the 6th grade. And then I know that even the other night at the 6th grade ice cream social, many parents were commenting on that it's well received. So hopefully, if we offer it, and again, especially like the transition to 9th grade, hopefully more people would take advantage of it.
And then just to share with you, we're in that, we're gearing up for the opening of school. Monday and Wednesday, we have our new teachers for their orientation, and then next week, the 19th and 20th, we open with our Institute Days, and then on the 21st, we'll have the first day with students. But over the 19th and 20th, in addition to introductions, welcoming staff back to school, our teachers will be involved in school improvement planning, and then also, we refer to it as data mining. They'll be looking at results on various assessments that were given last year as they plan for this upcoming year. And then the other thing that we'll be doing is providing staff development in the comprehensive literacy that we shared with the board. It's an initiative that we are going forward with. It dovetails nicely with, we were focusing on differentiated instruction, and last year, continue that focus, and then also exit outcomes. And now through the comprehensive literacy model, we'll be focusing on, again, the teaching of literacy K through 12, but then also it's going to be a vehicle for us to do curriculum mapping, which would be the next phase of our curriculum development. So I'm excited about that initiative. We did bring in our reading specialists and some of our special ed staff they received the initial training. They were very excited about it, and so we think it will be well received with the staff when we begin the year.
First day of school, August 21st?
That's 21st? yeah.
Full day of school?
Full day.
Full day of school. Okay. Well, surprisingly, are there any board reports?
I just had a couple of quick things. Obviously, school is starting, 8/21 here. I'd like to remind everybody that walks to school or rides their bike to school that we have crossing guards out there at the key intersections. Please utilize those crossing guards. Hopefully instruct your children to use them if you're not actually walking with them. I know that they're out there every day throughout the entire school year, so let's be safe and smart when we're walking to school. And I had one question on the full-day, half-day kindergarten and the dual language. Do we have any preliminary numbers where we are with those?
We're going to, tomorrow I'm meeting with Edith Rivera and Kristen Kretzel, our elementary school principals. Right now, it looks like out of approximately 80 students, 80 kindergarten students, I think it's 16 have chosen half-day. So the vast majority of our students chose full-day. And right now, we have approximately 12 students committed to dual language, but we are continuing to recruit, and we think we'll be able to get that number up before we open next Wednesday.
Okay, that's good.
And that's without even doing, one of the part of our ELL program now is the dual language, and also part of that process, our new incoming students, kindergarten students who indicate that they speak another language at home, they're initially screened by our personnel, and any students who qualify for ELL services at the kindergarten level will also be enrolled in the dual language program. So that number will go up very shortly.
Let's go.
I'm sorry, I was just another sort of question or comment. I was only able to attend the first registration, but at least at the first one, it seemed like things went well. Overall, feel like it was a better year, had a lot of people that were on the computer in advance. I mean, kind of what was the end result of the two registrations?
The second registration, we're very busy. I think the bulk came through on the second day. And there are more families that did not take advantage of the pre-registration.
On the second day.
On the second day. So we had more families that had to complete that process at registration. But overall, it went very smoothly. And I think what indicates that is at that time that you say that registration is closing, it's how quickly you get the last people that came through the door. And I would say by 6:30, we had everybody had finished the process. So
That's good.
it moved pretty well.
Okay.
Another thing, real quick, if I may.
No, you go.
Just in line with what Gary was saying with school starting, something else I'd like to make people aware of is, of course, that you can't be on your cell phone in a school zone. And something else I think a lot of people don't know is that isn't just during certain hours or certain days. That's 24/7, 365. You can never be on a cell phone in a school zone. So driving. So.
Thank you.
So that goes for the parents or anybody driving there as well?
Even employees.
Even employees, yeah.
Anybody driving within the school zone, no matter what your capacity is or who you are. A resident that lives across the street,
Right.
anybody driving within a school zone.
Okay.
And the only thing I wanted to add is after the last meeting, we instituted a new thing that we're going to be putting out a day or two after each board meeting, which is an update of our board meetings, and it will be there tomorrow or when we do it, but we did tonight approve the dual language kindergarten teacher, so that, I know there was some question about that, so that's there. So we will be continuing with that as we go on after each board meeting, that we're going to send out an email, so.
And Kevin, do we feel that the kindergarten families have, we did have a comment at the last meeting that they were feeling a little, at least that particular family was feeling a little like they were missing communications? Do you feel like we've reached out to all 80 families and that, there's a higher level of comfort now?
Right, there's a higher level of comfort, and the parents are aware that we hired a dual language kindergarten teacher. And even now, as families were going through the registration process, information was shared with those families. And even now, the buildings have been calling kindergarten families to keep them apprised of the progress we're making.
I know, and I know all of us who are board members who worked at the registration, I know every time we had somebody come by, we really tried to tell everybody to make sure you sign up for all the blogs so that you are, that you get all those. And obviously, our new families especially.
Mhm.
But it's good that the teachers are reaching out to the kindergarten families.
Well, and I think it's worthwhile to point out that, the kindergarten, if they're a brand-new family, no, not with older children, they don't do online registration the first year.
Right.
So we do hiccup a little, I think, with that. Now, if they have older students and they're already in the district, then they're already signed up for blogs and they're more familiar. But I do think for families that are brand-new kindergarten students with no older siblings or new to the district, that first year, they don't do the computer registration.
Right.
And I think we probably need to do something extra to try and get those families signed up for blogs and aware that so much information comes out that way. And I don't know, I don't think we're communicating that probably as well as we should.
Yeah,
But-
probably not.
But I think that's something we should maybe reach out to those families and kind of, if there's something, we can give them little instructions about how to go do it. Probably be a good idea.
Okay, anything else? Then, are there any other public comments? Okay, the chair will enter a motion to enter closed session for the purpose of discussing collective bargaining, personnel issues, and probable litigation.
So moved.
Seconded.
And roll call, please, Mr. McMahon?
Mrs. Notbush? Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mrs. Hancock?
Yes.
Mrs. Charlton?
Yes.
Mr. Armstrong?
Yes.
Yeah.
And there will not be any votes after closed.